Shalom. First formal form start by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushua, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushua, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushua. Call Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors, positive elders, great millstone, royalties, well, peace, salutation to all you out in the four corners of the earth. I am Yekwa from Wise Soul, Yahushua, sanctified ones. Coming to with a video, it's not going to be too long, maybe about 15 minutes or so, maybe even shorter. But I got a couple videos I want to share, but just about Babylon. And I know you already know, we hear it, we understand it, but you gotta keep reiterating about this devil system, which is definitely falling, which is definitely going down. Okay, uh, look, Babylon is all lies, right? It's scams, right? That's why I named it. Babylon is all lies and scams. It's scum. It's the scum, right? Everything you do is a trick. It's a flip. Everything here in AKA America, which is Babylon, which is Egypt, which is Sodom and Gomorrah, which is everything wicked. It personifies all wickedness, right? This is all full of fuckery. It's all full of just. It's just all wicked, man. It's just a bunch of trash. It's falling apart by the seams, and it's really just collapsing, right? And when something is going on its way out, it's the worst, right? It's kicking, hollering, screaming. Because at one point in time, you never thought of this place like that. You never thought of, even being Jakey here in America, you never thought of America as like, oh, this is a shithole. It's a shitty place. But you loved it, especially when you was younger. You enjoyed it. You had a great time, But as life starts to, as you get older, you start to be able to see between the lies. You see between the bullshit, and that's when it starts hitting you. Like, damn, like this is just a big ass facade. You know what I'm saying? It's all smoke and mirrors. But let me read this scripture right quick. Then I'm gonna play this video. Then I got a couple scriptures after the video. Then I'm gonna close up, right? Because it's gonna say it all. Okay. But this is the scripture that this is Nahum chapter 3. You know it. Hey, it's oldie but goodie. But this right here, this is Nahum chapter 3, verse 1. Woe to the bloody city. And then when you think about America, man, it's bloody as fuck. You hear about how much travesty goes on in this earth, how many people that the elite has killed to build this world, to build this system, right? This house is built on the backs and blood of the whole earth, right? You look at what they're doing over there in to Gaza. Like everything, everything got its imprint is Babylonian imprint on it. Everything got AKA America's imprint on it. The missiles, the weapons, the money to get the winner, the funding, all the money is funneled through America. America's funneled that money out to the Israelis so they can have their campaign on Gaza, so they can destroy and have mass murdering and genocide, fucking genocide. Okay, whose bombs are they? Who gave them the money to do all the bombing? And then they turn around like, oh, it's not us. And then, Babylon is such a tricky dick, right? Literally, Chinese went in and dropped aid last week or a week or so ago, dropped the aid in for the Gazans when nobody would give them aid, nobody would give them food because the Israelis said, don't come over here, no fly zone. You can't fly any aid in, any kind of food in for the people to help them that they're bombing, that they're murdering, fucking having a genocide against, right? To cause a mass genocide over there. China does it, and they dared the Israelis to shoot a plane out the sky. They dared them to shoot one down. They told them, said, we will. You shoot a plane, you shoot one of our planes down. Basically, we will wipe Israel. Then we will wipe Israel off the face of the map, off the face of the earth. Okay, Israel will cease to exist. Okay, they didn't do it, so China dropped the aid in. Okay, Babylon is tricky motherfucker, right? Babylon's so tricky and dirty. They turn around the week after China been dropping off supplies into Gaza. Now who comes through the door with the trucks full of supplies? Oh, good old Babylon. The very same people. Once they see China doing it, right? The very same people, what they do? They turn around and they did the same shit. They turn around and now they want to give supplies into Gaza and feeding them and dropping supplies in, and all of a sudden they go in free willy nilly. But it took China to come in and push, and then it's such a tricky thing. It's like, man, that you full of lies and robbery, man. You just a horrible fucking people. You know what I'm saying? The system is so fucking devious and demonic and satanic, man. That only is why they helping the people now is because they look bad in the public eye because China went and did it. China started that off. China kicked that off. China gave a fuck. Was tired of seeing them being slaughtered. Right? China got tired of the slaughtering of the Palestinians, and they got tired of seeing them. You can go on X and see the dismemberance of the bodies all over the ground and little babies dead all over the ground and fucking heads cut off, arms cut off, and all kind of shit. Parts of body parts everywhere, guts all out everywhere. You can see this shit all on Twitter, and it's showing what the Israelis is doing because they got a bloodlust. Right, go back to Ezekiel 35 chapter. They got a lust for blood, and and China's like, look, fuck that. You know what? No more. Let us start, helping these people. And so they finally kicked it off to help them to send aid over there. All of a sudden, America, we can't let them one us up. But it's you devils who's supplying the Israelis so they can do the mass bombing, so they can do the genocide. You're going to genocide the people, but then you'll turn around after somebody else give them aid and help, then now you're going to turn around and act like you're the good guy, and now you want to help too. But it's your bombs. It's your bombs. It's your planes. All this shit is made by America. It's all your shit that they're using them to, yeah, you think people are fucking stupid, man. And that's Babylon. Like your modus apparatus, your MO, that modus of apparatus, your MO is already known. We get what you are, man. We understand and see. We see you, man. Like you can't fool the elect, man. The hopeful elect, Hey, if they could, they would deceive the very elect. You can't deceive the elect. You can deceive the world. Hell, you can barely even deceive the world anymore because everybody's on that ass now. Everybody get it now. They see the bullshit, man. Right? They see your bullshit. They see all your shit that you do. Right? It's just crazy as hell, man. How it blows my mind, Here, on one hand, we're going to blow you the fuck up. On one hand, we'll have our proxy, which Israeli, I don't know whether Israeli is America's proxy or America is the Israelis' proxy, whichever way they looking at each other. But they're the same head of the same coin. Right? You flip, it's still heads. You flip it again, it's heads again. That there is no tails, right? They're the same head to the same coin. They're a double-headed coin, and and when you get one, you get the other. So whatever Israelis do, that's Babylon doing it, or is America, and whatever America does, that's the Israelis. They back each other. So that's just some filthy shit, to do with people so horrible and bad, and then all of a sudden now you want to give them aid. It's funny shit. So back to Nehemiah, the 3rd chapter, Slakia, Nahum 3rd chapter. Woe to the bloody city. It is full, it is all. And you got to understand these words. The Lord didn't say it is some, it's a little. The Lord said it is all full of lies and robbery. Right? And that's what you get here. You full of lies and full of robbery. Your system is a lie. Everything about your shit is lies and robbery. You stealing, you killing, you setting people up to steal and kill, and you it's just like what you did to Jake. You give Jake drugs, you give Jake guns, you give him the dope, and then you throw him in prison. The fuck? You're the supplier to the wickedness, but then you put the charge onto, like, let's say Psalms 50 chapter, right? You put Jake in a candy store with broke, busted, and disgusted, with no means, right? The so-called Negro, Latino, Native American. You put them in a candy store. You put them in a store. They have no way of buying anything. You lock them in there, and you say, "Here, look, what you gonna do?" They're gonna get hungry. Eventually, you're gonna eat the shit up. You're gonna take some shit, right? It's only a natural effect when you're hungry. You want to eat. If food is there, why should you not eat it? Why would you lock somebody into a situation that they can't get out? That it's only one outcome for any person to make because everybody's in that position. If you starve, you're gonna eat, regardless if you're supposed to or not. But fuck, I'm starving. What you want me to do? You know, but that's Esau. He put you in the worst position. They turn around and say, "Oh, look, he stole this, he stole that." Like, first, you left him starving. You put a fucking starving lion in a fucking cage with a bunch of food and commanded it just to sit there, and you think it's not gonna eat? It's fucking starving. Eventually, it's gonna wake up and say, "You know what? Fuck this shit. Let me eat. I'd rather eat than sit here and die of starvation, and let whatever outcome I got to deal with, let it be what it is." So you put drugs and guns in these broke down neighborhoods, these decrepit neighborhoods, these blight neighborhoods are full of blight, and the people are full of poverty. And hey, look, sell this shit to each other, shoot each other, kill each other, and look at what you got. It's the same shit. It's you're in more of some shit, man. You gotta go. Esau, you gotta go. Your shit is fucked up, right? Like I said, woe to the bloody city. It is all full of lies and robbery. So the Lord says it's all fucked up. The whole shit, the whole system. The prey depart of not. The noise of a whip and the noise of the rattling of the wheels. And that's coming, right? Them planes, airplanes. I had a dream a few years ago, man. It's on my old channel that I used to use, but I don't really use it as frequently. But my old channel, I had a dream, man. You know, I had a dream because I had got strikes on my old channel, and I just never went back to it. I think they got strike for like 4 months, like 6 months or something. I don't know, whatever. But they took it down, so I just come over here to this channel. I just stayed on why. So, but yeah, but no, but 2 years ago I had a dream, man. Lord, I mean, it was a vivid dream, man. The Lord woke me up. It was just like if y'all ever watched the movie Red Dawn. It was just like the movie Red Dawn, man. It was all the foreign troops here in America, man, and they were just fucking barreling down on Esau. There's these different militias was fighting and no fucking it was Chinese. They were either North Koreans, Chinese, Japanese, whatever they were, man. It was either like North Korean, Chinese, but man, they was just tearing fucking Esau up, man. We was in like a big ass building. I don't know. I want to feel like it was like a church or some shit. But we had like a peace, like it was like something you had to have a peace sign up or something, and it wouldn't fuck with that area or whatever. You had to go down, hunker down or whatever. But you could hear the devastation, outside. Then the dogs was barking and so your time is coming, man. The rattling of the wheels and of the prancing horses and of the jumping chariots. Okay? The horsemen lifted up both the bright sword and the glittering spear. And that's them weapons, that's them tanks, that's them planes, that's them missiles, right? And there is a multitude of slain and a great number of carcasses. And see, and in my dream that I had, it woke me up. I was like, well, it was about like 2:33 in the morning or something. And when it woke me up, man, I could I felt it, and it felt like, damn, the righteous will scarcely be saved. And I was like, man, we're gonna be saved, we're gonna be saved. And I remember seeing like the missiles. Like I could look up, like I could see missiles coming up over top of the house. Like I could see through the house and I could see the missiles. You can hear the missiles, and you can hear the animals all kind of screeching and squawking and squelling. And it was a whole nother different level. I never forget it, man. It was vivid, man. It really brought me to tears. Literally brought me to tears because I could feel, it's like what Ezra said, woe is me who will save me in those days, man. Woe is me, and you think when you're man of Lord, you go through so much and you're like, man, you got to go through all these trials and tribulations. You got to keep the faith all the way to the end. You get to the end and it's like, boom, it's like all these scriptures start coming in mind. Righteous will scarcely be saved. You gotta have the faith, keep the faith, believe. Don't, and it's just like, man, you just and you hearing all this chaos, people hollering and welling Like, it's just shit is fucking crazy. So the end times is gonna be merciless, right? It's gonna be merciless. Okay, there's not gonna be any fucking mercy, right? Number of carcasses, and there is none end of their corpse. I mean, it's gonna be many, many bodies. The bodies you just gonna be, like when you go to Psalms, I think it's 91, right? 1,000 by my side and 10,000 by my right hand. You're gonna be stumbling over, these bodies, man, these corpses. They stumble upon their corpses because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot. And who's the well-favored harlot? That's America, man. Right? They was talking earlier about how, America is a superpower, and that's the problem now, that they're falling out of their place. And America is the global superpower. America rules the world. It's ruled by America. Okay? And like Job was the earth is given into the hand 9 and 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked, right? The earth was given into Esau, Edom, okay, but now it's being snatched, it's being ripped away, it's being taken away from Esau. The so-called white man is losing his kingdom, so it's being stripped away, and it's going to be stripped away horribly, and as it's being stripped away, all the skirt is being lifted. All the fuckery, all the foolery, all the scams, all the scum, all the shit is showing when you lift that rug. You done swept shit up under the rug so long that once you start lifting it, all the scum, all the fucking shit is just falling out. And that's what's happening in America now today, man. Okay? Because the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcraft. There's a lot of witchcraft in this motherfucker, right? All of the system, this whole system is witchcraft. Okay, the music, the everything you deal with here, the religion, just America itself, man. It's all witchcraft. Everything here it has to do with a wicked ass vibration, right? That selleth nations through her whoredoms, right? All the trafficking, talk about the trafficking that comes in and out through America, right? The mistress of witchcraft that selleth nations through her whoredom, and families through her witchcraft. All the slavery, when these little slave trades, I see them talk about the slave trades, right? And they still to this day. But who's the biggest slave traffickers of the earth is Esau, Edom, so-called white man. Who's the biggest trafficker of the earth? He trafficked a whole nation, Judah, the whole, the northern kingdom and southern kingdom was trafficked into America by the way of Atlantic slave trade through slavery. Okay. Behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, Yahweh. I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts. His name is Yahweh. And I will discover thy skirts. I said it earlier, skirt is lifted up. Okay. Upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness. And that's what's happening now. Now you got these other nations coming out being standing up against this devil. You got even the Hamites. What's his name? Terah, Ibrahim Terah from Burkina Faso. Hey, these men, he's standing up against them. You got Putin over there fighting against them with Ukraine. You had Hitler was fighting against them. When they done cleared up the speech on that, you got to go back to the old Hitler speeches. Now they got it when you can actually see what he's saying. Where well, we know what the fuck he was saying, right? So they tell us that he said, "Oh, well, they done cleared the fucking tape up finally." Now we know exactly what he's saying. And he was talking against you, fake Jews. He was talking against you for bringing all that porn and killing off their system and fucking doing all the shit that America has become is everything that he was fighting against, man. He was fighting against them turning his fucking people out, fucking his country up, putting his country into slavery, making them enslaved to the debt, to money, right? He was fighting against them, man. So, so all that shit comes to a head, Okay, he said that fight will continue, right? And now that fight is picked up through Putin. See, the Lord had put that fight into Putin and the China Iran, and all these in North Korea, you know, and Burkina Faso, and, you know, Libya. And when you go back to Psalms 82nd chapter, read it. You know, he gonna Gog and Magog gonna have not I said what I say, but Gog and Magog gonna have his buddies, right? They're gonna stand up against this devil, man. You know, uh, right here, yeah. And I will cast a bomb. Let me right here. Yeah. Back to verse 5. Behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem Shai of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. And I will cast abominable filth upon thee, and make, because that's a real shame when you sit up there and the Chinese had to go, and Moab had to go and help them Israelis, I mean Salakia, and help them Palestinians, and give them aid, drop that aid over to them by the way of food and clothes and all the stuff they dropped over to them. And then all of a sudden now you're gonna turn around and open up the aid unto Gaza. You know, that's a shame, man. Right? That's a shame unto you, your skirt. And it shows how dirty and filthy you are. You know, it shows your filthiness. Okay, how filthy of a person you are, right? And make thee vile, and will set thee as a gazing stock, right? It's going to be amazing. It's going to be, you know, people going to be looking at that, going, what was done unto Israel, right? Unto us, the true Israelites, the true Israel, right? The so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, Seminole Indians. It's in the speckled faces, the you know, the brothers and sisters that look like the heathen nations, right? Going to be a gazing stock, okay? What was done to us is going to be done to you. And it shall come to pass that all that look upon thee shall flee from thee. Going back to other Asian, right? Because right now, shit, people getting, motherfuckers is running out of America. Motherfuckers is getting over to Thailand, they run to Philippines, Vietnam, they Colombia, they getting they just trying to get the fuck away from this devil, man. You know, and they running and they like, look, this is too much. It's hard to live in Babylon. It's so fucking expensive, man. You know, and they learned that they can use the currency of Babylon to get over to these other countries. They can make money here, and they can go there, and they can live decent. They can go peacefully, right? They can go out there with the Japhetic people of Thailand, the Japhetic people with the Philippines, the islands, Vietnam. They can go out there and they can be at peace because they don't have that issue with them, man, right? They wasn't under that confederacy, right? Because they're not in the people of Japheth wasn't confederate against Israel, okay? They wasn't in that when you read that in Psalms. That's what I was trying to say earlier. Psalms 82nd chapter. They wasn't in that. What was 83rd? Damn. See the 82nd, 83rd. It was, I think, Psalms 82 and 60s. Yeah, God's. I think it's 83rd chapter. Let me just get that right quick, just because I. All right, yeah, this is Psalms 83rd. Y'all was right. Psalms 83 and 5. All right, so that's Psalms 83 and 5 about the nation that was confederate. And the Japhetic nations were not confederate against Israel. Okay. All right. So yeah. So I'm gonna play this. Let me finish this. I'm gonna read this and I'm gonna play this video. And it's verse 7. And it shall come to pass that all that look upon thee shall flee from thee, and say, Nineveh is laid waste. Who will bemoan her? Whence shall I seek comfort for thee? Art thou bitter than populous? No, that was situated among the rivers that had the waters round about it, whose ramparts was the sea, and her wall was from the sea. I mean, it's just beautiful, right? All right, but right quick, let me just play this video. because I didn't want to make this video too long. I'm already kind of going over my time. All right.
Cash. And they want everything going digital so they can track everything that you do under the B. They get rid of Zelensky and they put Vanneral. Let's go ahead and listen to this guy, and then we'll be back in a few minutes.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is absolutely terrible.
Every month, this Airbnb passive income. Now, here's the
In the coming days, we're going to have seismic bond market.
All right, come on. Hold on, let me this is the guy that's talking. I'm gonna play it on my phone. I'm gonna play it on my phone, and I'm gonna leave that up there. You know, because this was, Satan wanna he wanna hinder the truth. So, but we're not gonna let Satan hinder the truth. So we're not gonna let Satan hinder the truth. So I'm gonna play this, and I'm gonna just let it lock you for that. I'm gonna just let the volume on it play, and that way you can hear it.
They want to get rid of cash, and they want everything going digital so they can track everything that you do under the B system. The B system right now is being set up. So folks, listen, I don't know if Deagle.com is going to come true, but it's looking more and more like that the war in Ukraine is not going to end. It's not going to end, I don't believe, unless there's a miracle. Unless they get rid of Zelensky and they put Valery Zaluzny in his place, the former Ukraine general. Let's go ahead and listen to this guy, and then we'll be back in a few minutes.
And this is the guy on the screen who's talking. I had to pause it because, internet messing up.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is absolutely terrible.
And it's Esau, right? Edomite.
In the coming days, we're going to have seismic bond market collapse in the United States of America. The fixed income market's going to go to zero, and there is going to be a Pigs Nation style-like event. Ladies and gentlemen, this is absolutely terrible. In the coming days, we're going to have seismic bond market collapse in the United States of America. The fixed income market's going to zero, and there's an institution-like event. Earlier today, on the heels of all this mixed messaging, we're seeing overseas in Japan, for example, the yen carry trade unravel, which basically fuels all the debt here in the United States. This is why gold and silver and real estate prices, of course, have been soaring in recent years. This is going to cascade into a massive Pig Nation style-like collapse in the United States very, very soon. I have information from a lot of sources, and again, I'm dialed into this, guys. This is why I told you to buy Bitcoin all these years. To get your money into a private bank, into a physical asset like what we built here at the Digital Noah's Ark, because I always knew that this event would come. And now major billionaires, Jamie Dimon admitted today that he's going to allow his clients and his highest net worth customers, including hedge funds and private equity, to buy Bitcoin at his firm, which is a signal of what he knows. He knows that the US dollar is not only dead, but that the elites are grossly resetting the system into a new hyperinflated event and a digital currency reset, which will culminate in what we've been talking about for a very long time, a US equivalent stable coin that will be backed by cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, and other reserve tokens. This is something that Donald Trump has been working on full force. And I believe that this is going to happen this week. So let me explain. You remember in 2008 and 09 when all the major financial institutions ran out of liquidity. So it was full-blown bank runs. It was like AIDS infecting the entire financial system. There was panic. We had congressmen warn of martial law. Those were all very significant events. And then we saw a massive collapse in the United States. I actually think that that's going to happen again, but much worse. A little different, and I'm going to explain what's different about it. As now implodes, this is a sovereignty collapse. This is where the rest of the world has been selling all of our treasury debt because it's now been downgraded to trash. Moody's, the last of the three major ratings agencies, just downgraded U.S. government debt because the debt is so enormous, even with what Donald Trump has been trying to do and Elon Musk have been trying to do with Doggy, they can't stop the avalanche. So I want you to understand that the information I'm revealing to you now is a triggering event.
Hold on, he just said something there. It just made me think. He said something. What he said? I just said Slovakia. Shit. Yeah, right quick. I just want to read this. This is 2 Timothy's. Yeah, 2 Timothy's 3, and I'm gonna start at 1. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. That's how we know the last day. You know, they for Esau, even this is perilous time. You know, this time is very, very horrible, crucial time. They know what's coming. They know their system is crumbling and is corrupted and is falling apart. For men shall be lovers of their own selves. You see that in the world. Covetousness, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful. You see all of that. Unthankful and unholy, right? Without natural affection, truth breakers, false accusers, right? Esau, Edom, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures, and you see women more than lovers of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. From such turn away. For of this sort are that which creep into houses and lead captive silly women laden with sin. And that's that heavy sin, deep sin, deep, deep sin, right? Even ever learning, okay, ever learning and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. And that's what we are now. Okay. That's what we are now. Okay. I got to read that again. And it says, and led captive, right? Look at these women now. Silly women laden with heavy sin. I just watched a thing on TV, or not TV because I don't watch TV no more, right? Who watches TV anymore? But anyway, but I just watched a thing on what was like Instagram or something, and this lady was this lady was she was in Dubai. And she up in Dubai, man. She had just got through getting shitted all on, man. She had shit covered from her face all down her whole body, you know. And she just was like, "Whew, yeah, finally finished this up, huh?" You know, but you know, it's fucking crazy, you know. She's happy to be done and about to go back home. She done got her bag. She went and got her bag, you know, and she got her money and she on her she on her way home. This lady with heavy sin out there doing all kind of unseemly, ungodly things, unholy things, unnatural things, to herself and her body, and all for that bag, all for money, for the lust of the dollar. It's not, some things just, it's just a sickness, man. This world is a sickness, This world is, this world is just sick, man. All right, let me get this. Let me get back. Let me get this back. Let me get this. Hold this work right again. I shouldn't have probably took it off. But just bear with me real quick when we get back to this video. I gotta play it through the phone. I gotta play it through the phone. Oh, and shit, when he said it, laden, and this place is laden with heavy debt. The thick debt. The debt that's here in America is thick, right? It's heavy. It's heavy debt here in America. This place is got it's just a debt society, like you said, right? The debt it's just grown enormous, okay? And the scriptures talk about the debt, But let me get back to this video from my phone dial.
Avalanche of debt that must be
an avalanche of debt. Avalanche.
This is going to cause a systemic panic in the United States of America. It will be the most terrible financial Armageddon that you have ever seen. It will make 2020 and the lockdowns and all that terrible stuff that happened look easy compared to what's happening, because the US dollar, keep in mind, backed by the military industrial complex, was once the strongest currency in the world. It was where people went for a safe haven. Now that the US dollar is dead and they've spent so much money and your politicians are so evil and they're drunkards on this whole new level where they've been spending to infinity for the longest time. I mean, we have this is astounding. I want you to think about this. $36 trillion worth of debt. They can never, ever pay this back. So the only thing that can be done is a collapse into the new system. What's terrible about this is it's going to create a wealth divide unlike anything we've ever seen in the history of the world. It'll be much worse than the feudal societies that we've studied in history, much worse even than Rome. So we're kind of entering, and this is what I've been telling you all for a long time, we're entering this renaissance where the wealth, because it's flowing like the sea behind me or water, has to go somewhere.
If you suffer from an enlarged prostate and go to the bathroom more than 3 times a night, here are 3 myths that are completely false. First myth, you need to take dutasteride or finasteride for the rest of your life. Second, surgery is the only solution. Third, cutting out coffee and alcohol will fix the problem. All false. Most men who take prostate medication still suffer from dribbling in those endless bathroom trips at night. The same goes for those who follow strict diets or go through invasive procedures. Why? Because the root cause of the problem isn't your age, diet, or your lifestyle. In fact, a study by the renowned Dr. Elliot Blake, a Stanford-trained urologist, shows that BPH is caused by the buildup of toxic substances in the body. These toxins accumulate in the urinary tract, forming a sticky sludge that clings to the walls of the prostate. Over time, this buildup increases pressure on the prostate, causing it to swell and grow. And if you take too long to flush these toxins out, they'll keep building up until your prostate is so enlarged that your bladder can no longer empty fully, leaving you dependent on adult diapers or facing emergency surgery. So, if you're struggling to urinate, waking up multiple times a night, or dealing with a weak stream, taking drugs like finasteride and dutasteride and cutting back on coffee and alcohol will only bring temporary relief because they treat the symptoms, not the root cause. But here's the good news. To fight this silent infection, Dr. Blake shared a simple trick using tomato peel and 2 other ingredients you can find at Walmart that, when combined, have the power to flush out these toxins and restore your prostate to a healthy, normal size. Drink 1 glass of this every night for at least 3 weeks, and the weak stream, dribbling, incomplete emptying, and sleepless nights caused by bathroom trips will be gone for good. That's right. Just 3 weeks is enough to shrink your prostate and return it to its natural, healthy size, similar to a walnut. Over 45,634 Americans of all ages have already experienced the miraculous effects of this natural solution. They're now able to urinate normally again and have regained their quality of life without dangerous medications full of side effects that harm your masculinity, like finasteride and dutasteride. Because this tomato peel trick targets the root cause of prostate enlargement. Once your prostate returns to its normal size, it stays that way. Dr. Blake appeared in a TV interview where he revealed everything about this natural trick, including the full step-by-step recipe and how to prepare it correctly. That's why I strongly recommend you stop whatever you're doing and click the button below to watch the free recording of this quick interview. It shows how anyone can start using this trick today.
Oh, shit. Slack it up. All right.
And it's relieving itself from old U.S. debt, bonds, 30 years.
So all that debt, slack you for that. But all that debt is talking about, let's go to Habakkuk. Slack you. Right quick. Yep. So this is Habakkuk 2:6. Shall not all these take up a parable against him? And really you can read the whole thing, because really when you go to the top, Habakkuk 2:6. This is Habakkuk 2:1. I will stand upon my watch, right? That's what we're doing now, and set upon the tower, right? And will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord Yahweh Shemashah answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. And that's what we're doing. Being men of the Lord, we run it, we reading, running with it, we talking, we teaching, we telling. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak, and is speaking, and not lie. Though it tarries, it means it's taking time, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. Behold, his soul, which is lifted up, Salakia. Verse 4, behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith. Yea, also, ye also, because he transgressed, also because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, that's Esau Edom, who enlargeth his desire as hell. like you said, they'll turn Gaza Strip into Trump Palace Towers and Trump casinos and all this shit. And is as death and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. And you look at America now today, right? You look at Babylon today, and it's full of all the nations, it's full of all nations of people, and they are the global currency of the world, right? They are the long arm of the law. Okay, the world is ruled by Esau, Edom, right? By the mainly, chiefly the Amalek, right? The chief house of Satan. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe, meaning destruction, to him that increaseth that which is not his. None of this was his. Everything is stolen. It's all like Nahum the third. It's all full of lies and robbery. It's the bloody city, right? Woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. How long? And to him that which is not his, how long? Right? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. And that thick clay, right? When you I'm gonna go to that word, that thick clay, because he said it, right? With thick clay, that word goes back to weight of plagues, heavy debts. Heavy debts, weight of plagues. Okay, so that tell you that that's America. He just talked about it. He said he's talking about the humongous debt that's here in America. I don't know if that's going to show, but yeah, but heavy debt, thick clay, heavy debt. Okay, and he talked about that debt that's here in America, man, and that's what's happening now, right? So it's all coming back. Hey, like Jeremiah Rice said, the roosters is coming home to roost.
10 years, all those equivalent securities, and it's got to go somewhere else. I mean, it's so bad. The U.S. government is so bankrupt now that the great states of Texas, which I love, and North Carolina and Florida actually have a higher rating than the U.S. government. So China is selling trillions of dollars worth of bonds. All of these foreign nation states, including Europe, that also hate Donald Trump, by the way, the European zone hates Donald Trump. So they're selling all of their debt. The Japanese premier, thank God he's still alive, because remember what happened to Shinzo Abe, right? He was capped in the back. That was all one deep state setup. Again, the people in charge of your financial markets, of politics, of the system, and of the central bank are, in my opinion, I have to say, the most evil people on this planet. I mean, go back to Shinzo Abe. They literally put him in a town square, left his whole back open to be fired on. Absolutely insane. But the Japanese premier today admitted, and I tweeted this at AMTV Media, that they are insolvent as a nation. So what this means, and a lot of you aren't financially astute, no worries about that. You didn't work on Wall Street like I used to, so I'm not expecting you to be astute in some of these areas. But let me explain to you, this carry trade of the yen, as it unravels, is going to create a derivative time bomb that's going to explode into a nuclear weapon in our financial markets. There is a multi-quadrillion rigged derivatives market right now, synthetics and securities, the same things that collapsed the system in 2008 and 09, all the mortgage-backed securities. Notice mortgage rates actually popped above 7%. What was it? Let's take a look at this now, because this is looking like Greece. You remember when Greece had riots right after 2008 and 09, when the Pigs Nation style collapse occurred? And I want you to understand, though, too, this is the plan of the elites. They set you up. They hate your guts. They hate you so much. They set this up because they're planning on resetting into Bitcoin. They're planning on resetting it into crypto, into CBDCs, otherwise known as stable coins. They have a new bill passing through Congress right now.
Joining me now is a young man who dropped out of Harvard and developed the Dub Act.
at this very moment that's going to replace the U.S. currency. So yeah, look at this. This is absolutely insane. If we're looking at U.S. Treasury debt, man, huge moves in the 10, but most notably the 30-year. And so we're seeing interest rates above 5% skyrocket. What this does is absolutely cripples the middle class. It's literally going to destroy 99% of all Americans that, think the politicians, maybe they're not paying attention, got it figured out. I'm telling you straight up, they don't. This is a massive scam, and they're literally going to reset the system into a hyperbolic infinity pump into Bitcoin and crypto. And they're going to scam everybody into this new blockchain technology, which Jamie Dimon used to say was a fraud, but now he's going all in. He says he still doesn't like it, but he's going to allow his wealthiest clients to now bankroll it and invest in it as a part of JP Morgan Chase. It's what I've been saying for years, that these dirty elites have set up a crisis worse than 2008-09. But what a lot of you are missing is this is not going to be like 2008 and 09. It's going to be a hyperinflationary transition into the new currency reset. This is why they did 2020. This is why they locked you in your house. This is why they closed your non-essential peasant business. They hate you. Do you understand? These people are extremely, extremely evil. They told you Bitcoin was a scam over the last 15 years when I told you to buy every last Bitcoin you could possibly get your hands on. And now this. So the 30-year treasury passes 5%. The dollar, which is slumping now, I believe will officially collapse this summer. As we approach the Bitcoin conference in just about 2 weeks, I think we're going to break new all-time highs across the board. So this is going to be massive. U.S. states are preparing for secessionist movements and possibly civil war, which it appears to be that the Democrats actually want, because Texas, Florida, and South Carolina, those great states, I love those states, have a higher credit rating than the trashed, bankrupt USD and the federal government itself, which has been absolutely destroyed under the leadership of people like Nancy Pelosi and other all these years.
Right quick, Florida just made gold a currency that you could actually use gold to pay for things in Florida now. Florida, Ron DeSantis, he's been making different moves. So he's saying you can use gold now as a payment in Florida. It's a currency. See, so shit changing, right? So you got to get in when you fit in.
There's like best Wall Street traders we've ever seen. I mean, they outperform hedge funds. And now my friend Ray Dalio, a fellow billionaire, has this to say, and I want to read this to you. He says that the U.S. government debt, this guy is like mainstream. He's not the general. He's a mainstream guy. I know him. He's a very smart man. He's a founder, creator of Bridgewater and Associates. I've had a couple beers with him. And I can't even tell you what he's told me personally. But he's on CNBC.com today, May 19th, 2025. He says, quote, the risk to the U.S. Treasuries is even greater than what Moody's is saying. Everyone knows that a massive systemic collapse event is going to implode U.S. debt, that we are worse here in the United States than the Pigs Nation style collapse that we experienced post-2008-09, that you have seen nothing yet, with bond yields soon to soar and a panic going straight into Bitcoin and crypto like I predicted for freaking generations. It's not even that these things are safe havens anymore. It's that the U.S. dollar is freaking dead, ladies and gentlemen. It's died. It's freaking dead. These scumbag elites have stolen everything.
Are you looking to start your own business? Well, look no further.
Hey, that's it, man. Hey, Esau start. Hey, he can't take it.
So this guy's a little bit upset about what is to happen. Everybody loses it here when you get overcome with the information that you are presented with. But this gentleman has said nothing that is untrue. We are $37 trillion in debt. China and Japan are dumping treasury bonds. That means that we are not going to be able to finance our debt anymore. At
That's
that
it.
point, we have
Hey,
a collapse.
That's it.
Or the
That's it. So so the days of Babylon is numbered. Okay. It's the weight of plagues, heavy debt. Okay. Thick clay in the scriptures in Habakkuk 2 and 6 is means weight of plagues, heavy debt. Okay. So right here, and this is a place that got heavy debt, man. Like I said, that debt is just enormous. Okay. And right here, let me get these scriptures right here, and I'm gonna close out because that was it pretty much. That was what that's and he said it all, man. And like I said, that's Esau. He said it all. But right here, I'm gonna just close out right here. This is let me. You know what? I'm gonna close out right here on Habakkuk 2 and 12. Woe to him that buildeth a. Matter of fact, hold on. I should have just went on and read down while I was reading. I'll just start from. I'll finish off where I was at. This is Habakkuk 2 and 6. Shall not all these take a parable against him and a taunting proverb against him and say, woe to him? Woe to him, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. How long? How long is Babylon going to be able to increase all of his? That's not. How long does he think he's going to be able to do this? How long does this system think it's going to be able to stand without collapsing? And you can see his own people are already telling you that the system is falling. It's already falling. It's already collapsing. It's already dead, right? You just got to go through the motions, okay? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. And we go back to that word thick clay goes back to what? Heavy debt. Okay. And when he talk about debt, he's talking about that debt. Okay. America has that thick, heavy debt. It's laden. It's laden is to be just immersed, enamored. It's just swallowed up with heavy debt. And that's what this place is. Man, it's supposed to be 40, what do you say, $38 trillion in debt. Okay. Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee? All the nations. And thou shalt, and look at the nations now. You got China, Russia, Iran, Libya. You got Burkina Faso, parts of Africa. So you got these nations, North Korea, right? They rising up, right? You got the Houthis, and you got Hezbollah. Well, Hamas, they don't decapitated Hamas and Hezbollah, but you still got the Houthis out there, so they're rising against this devil, right? They're biting them, okay? And awake that shall vex thee, they're vexing them, and thou shalt be for booties unto them, because thou hast spoiled many nations. All the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein. Woe to him that coveteth an evil covetousness, to his house, Esau Edom, that he may set his nest on high. The eagle, right? And what's this devil symbol? It's the eagle. He said, where does the eagle set his nest? On high. Okay. That he may be delivered from the power of evil. Thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and hast sinned against thy soul. For the stone shall cry out of the wall, and the beam out of the timber shall answer it. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, and establishes a city by iniquity. And that's heavy sin, man. Okay. Behold, it is not of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Ashai of hosts that the people shall labor in the very fire, and the people shall weary themselves for every vanity. For the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of the glory of Yahweh Bashim Ashai as the waters cover the sea. And that's what was being done now, right? And you keep going down and keep reading, and this devil gave his neighbor strong drink, that thou hast made look upon their nakedness. Okay, so hey, look, so look, your days is numbered. Okay, Esau, your days is numbered, man. You don't have very long. Your own people are telling you that. Not only that the man of the Lord is telling you, but your own people are telling you. These are Edomites that's on here. The so-called white people. You can see they're red. You see it in this skin, this flesh, this color. But they're telling you that your system is falling and corrupted. It's corrupted. It's collapsing. It's been corrupted. It started corrupt. It started through blood. It started with slavery. It started with murder, rape, robbery. Okay, so you came over to this country, and it's gonna go out the same way. It's gonna go out the same way it came in, but it's just gonna be worse, like you said. So be ready for what's coming. Hey, look, I'm Yaquan from Why I Sold You How Should I Sanctify Was. Keep praying, keep teaching. Hey, we always gonna be out here doing our thing. Hey, we're gonna be on the highways, byways, and we're gonna keep this thing moving. And we're gonna keep our faith and keep pushing, man. We just waiting on this ship to come in. Come on, push this ship. Come on and get this thing done, because hey, there's nowhere else to go. Nowhere else to go, Esau. You can't climb out this hole. That's it. This is a sinking hole. It's quicksand. It's forever sinking. You ain't never getting out of this. You can't come out of it. No matter what you try, no matter what you do, you can't get peace in the world. There's no peace coming to the world because everybody's on your ass. The BRICS nation is out there with the gold, with a whole nother currency. It's just so much going on now. So with that, everybody be ready. Be prepared. Keep yourself prepared and be ready. Hope. Hey, you can hope for better, but expect. You can hope for the best, but expect the worst. Okay, expect shit to go down. Expect shit, like you said, within sometime this summer. Expect things. Live the rest of your life the best you can for what you got, and you better prepare for the rest. Prepare for shit to get horribly bad. So hey, all you Israelites, keep pushing, keep teaching. I'm Yaquan Wise, so make Lord Yahweh Shema bless you and your families, hold you and keep you safe, and the hopefully let keep you up, keep you strong, keep you pushing. Don't give in, don't give up. We almost out of here. Shalom and call Lord Yahweh Shema Shah, call Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, Bashim Kodash, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahushua, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahushua. Double honor, sponsor, elders, great millstone, rule, teach well, peace, sanitation, all you Aki on the four corners of the earth. We almost out here. Shalom and blah, blah, blah.